Yeah, you're seeing this right. Firstly, the tweet on the screen was from 8 p.m. PST on October 29th, Tuesday. This video is being uploaded on the very wee small hours of October 30th, Wednesday. We had ourselves a Red Wings trade. And I was actually out tonight. I had a really lovely night out, but I was actually not in a hurry to return home to make this video about the Detroit Red Wings and Utah Hockey Club trade. Because my philosophy was this. I was like, hey, look, the Red Wings made a trade. Utah made a trade. I feel like the majority of my fan base that's going to tune into this video is Detroit-based. And when the trade was made, it was 8 p.m. at night. I'm not going to go out there and scramble to get home from elsewhere in Vancouver to make this video because I feel like a lot of Red Wings fans are already sleeping straight up. So by the time I noticed that this trade was made, it was already like 10 p.m. PST. I was like, okay, there's no reason to go back home because if I scramble back, I make a video. What's the difference between uploading a video at, let's just say, 10 p.m. Vancouver time? That would have been 1 a.m. Detroit time. What's the difference between uploading it at 2 a.m. Detroit time or, let's say right now, when I'm uploading this video, which is going to be like 4 a.m. Detroit time? Sure, there might be some degenerate Wings fans that are up all night, like myself. I'm always up until, let's say, 5 or 6, so don't worry, I'm not discriminating. I'm right there with y'all. But I was like, there's no real reason to scramble home and kind of break the moment in order to make a video about this, so I'll hold it off. I'll make the video when I get home. It's now 12:39 a.m. in the morning, and I'm talking about this trade. So let's talk about Stevie Y and his late-night shenanigans, as the Detroit Red Wings have sent defenseman Olli Maatta to the Utah Hockey Club in exchange for a third-round pick in 2025. Now, I feel like, for starters, we have to get this established here. Guys, the 2025 draft is the next draft. Like, I had to do a retake a few times upon seeing this trade. Oh, Maatta got traded for a third-round pick in 2025. That's great. When are the Wings going to be able to get value out of this pick? Oh, wait a minute. They'll get it next draft. The 2025 draft is the next draft, guys. It's crazy. Anyways, the reason the Utah Hockey Club went out there and made this move, it's very, very easy to dive into it, because when you think about the Utah Hockey Club updates that we have been seeing over the past few days, there were some really bad sort of conversations that were brought up about guys like Sean Durzi and John Marino. This article was published on ProHockeyRumors.com a few days ago. It went out there with the updates. Utah defensemen Sean Durzi and Marino have both undergone surgeries that will see them sit out for most of the season, the team announced. Durzi will be out 4 to 6 months after having his right shoulder surgically repaired, while Marino will miss 3 to 4 months after undergoing surgery to address a lower back issue. The team later said that they've recalled 2022 first-rounder Maverick Lamoureux from the AHL's Tucson Roadrunners, but with a full 23-man roster, there's still a corresponding move coming. And so with this, we were already seeing rumors. Hey, the Utah Hockey Club, they want to get a defenseman. They're in the market. They want to trade for a guy. They need to fill out spots because Sean Durzi and Marino are out. We had seen rumors linking them to the Ivan Provorovs of the world, but it turns out Ivan Provorov might have been a bit too expensive because the hockey club in Utah settled for Olli Maatta, who is, let's just say, a fraction of what Ivan Provorov would have costed, but who is still a pretty alright player himself. Olli Maatta is 30 years old, 6'2", 209, left-handed guy, signed on till the end of this season, making $3 million, and he was a 22nd overall pick by the Pittsburgh Penguins back in the 2012 NHL Draft. Olli Maatta had a pretty interesting career, winning 2 Stanley Cups, oddly enough, with some sort of a depth role in the Pens organization, but he quickly found himself a little bit more ice time the years coming in Pittsburgh as well as other organizations like Chicago, LA, and Detroit. He had spent the past few seasons in Detroit, maxing out with 23 points in 78 games in 2022-2023. Last year he had 18 points in 72 games played, and this year he had 0 points in 7 games, which doesn't sound great, and I will say none of these numbers look particularly amazing, but at the end of the day, they traded him for a third-round pick. It's not really like this is the most extravagant, amazing guy out there. Olli Maatta is like, okay, I would say. Plus, with some of the other guys that are in the Red Wings organization already, the Ben Chiarots, the Simon Edvinssons, you could very well say that the role that Olli Maatta had with this Red Wings team is somewhat of a disservice to him, because there were a few, like 13, 15-minute games that Olli Maatta was getting with Detroit as recently as a few days ago. So playing in Utah, where they really do need an extra left-handed defenseman because they pretty much have an entire pairing sidelined in both Durzi and Marino, this is a great opportunity for Maatta to go over to a new team, fresh start. I will say the Utah Hockey Club have built up a lot of momentum at the early stages of this season, so I wouldn't be surprised if Utah really challenges for some sort of a wild card opportunity. You can say that Utah has a chance to be better than Detroit this season. I don't think that's all too unreasonable, considering the talent and considering how they started out the year. So a trade like this helping them out while freeing up some cap space for Steve Yzerman, freeing up that roster spot, giving more minutes to guys like Simon Edvinsson, for example, and getting a third-round pick in exchange. That's a pretty good trade, I'd say, for both sides. Steve Yzerman with the late-night shenanigans to get some sort of a deal done. Kind of interesting that this is the time frame as to where the trade comes from. I mean, I was like talking today, I was like, why did they make a trade at 8 p.m. PST? It's 11 p.m. in Detroit. Like, Stevie, why? What are you doing? All this late-night talking, man. Harry Styles over here. If you wanted to get the update as well, because this was the detail. The Red Wings are receiving New York's third-round pick in 2025. I wanted to end this video off with a conversation about that draft pick, because if you go over to Wikipedia, the 2025 NHL Draft, and you scroll over to round 3, you will see this New York Rangers pick. It's not updated on the article that this pick now belongs to Detroit, but the New York Rangers third-round pick initially went to the Utah Hockey Club as the result of a trade on February 28, 2023 that sent Patrick Kane to New York in exchange for this pick, being conditional at the time of the trade. The condition: Utah will receive the higher of Dallas or New York's third-round picks in 2025 if the Rangers acquire the Stars' third-round pick in 2025. This was converted when New York traded Dallas's conditional third-round pick in 2025 to Seattle for Alex Wennberg on March 6, 2024. I feel like this is written very, very poorly. Like, you could have done this a lot better, Wikipedia, but essentially the New York Rangers pick went over to Utah because of the Patrick Kane trade, and the Patrick Kane trade, I guess, was coinciding with some other conditions that depicted whether or not one pick was higher than the other. I am really going in circles here. I don't know how it works, but I'm just gonna sit here and pretend like I do for the sake of making an appropriate YouTube video. But anyways, the Rangers' third-round pick is now in Detroit. That's the bottom line. Utah sent the pick over to Stevie Y and the Wings. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Firstly, about Olli Maatta, what are your thoughts on him and his Red Wings tenure coming to an end? What are your thoughts on the trade itself? What are your thoughts on the trade return? If you're a Utah Hockey Club fan, what are your thoughts on getting this guy in particular as your guy? He certainly is no John Marino or Sean Durzi, but he's okay. I do like Olli Maatta enough to believe in him and his profile to say that this trade was worth it for the Utah Hockey Club, especially since he has had some better moments throughout his career over the past few seasons. So who knows, maybe the hockey club in Utah has themselves the opportunity to bring the best out of a guy that used to be a little bit better than he is right now. So Utah fans, Detroit fans, sorry for the late upload. It's going to be uploaded here at 1 a.m. PST, something like that. But I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Olli Maatta getting traded over to Utah? I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.